So we're looking at part of Horsetooth Mountain Park. I have the Cotrex trails up in gray, overlaid on the OpenStreetMap tiles. And here we have the Horsetooth Rock Trail, the Audra Culver Trail, and part of the South Ridge Trail. But we're missing, Cotrex is missing the South Ridge Trail here. And you might say that, well, maybe that's just OpenStreetMap. It's not an official trail. Happen to know from firsthand experience that there are signs at either end of this trail indicating that it is an official trail. Further, we can turn on the Strava heat map. Strava is an app for runners, hikers, cyclists, and the heat map actually shows where its users are actually traveling. So about as many people took the South Ridge Trail here as the somewhat parallel Horsetooth Rock Trail. So that's a probably good indication that it's an official trail. If we turn on some overhead imagery, you can see that the trail shows up very prominently here. And finally, so this is in black some data from the Larimer County GIS department, which does have the South Ridge Trail. So I'm not sure how it's possible that they have this South Ridge Trail here, but Cotrex doesn't, but that's the case, and that's a good indication that it is an official trail and should be in Cotrex. And actually this is I think the only legal way to get from the upper parking lot on a bike to the Waltham Trail, which is up here, and Waltham and Westridge. Okay, and here's the actual Cotrex web map, and you can see it does not have this section of the South Ridge Trail. Okay, we are again in Horsetooth Mountain Park, this time up by the radio towers. And you can see again the Cotrex trails in gray overlaid on OpenStreetMap tiles. There's the West Ridge Trail, and this is the West Ridge Connector Trail, and it is misaligned here. It does not bulge out to the west. It goes more or less straight north there, and then there's a spur that goes out to the west, and that difference is about 170 feet, so that's pretty significant. Here's the Strava heat map showing that the OpenStreetMap depiction is pretty close and that the Cotrex depiction is not. And here's some imagery. You can see again that the Cotrex depiction does not match reality. In this case, Larimer County GIS also has it wrong. And I've hiked and ran this trail many times, so can tell you from first-hand experience that it does not swing out to the west as depicted here. So we're now in the Devil's Backbone open space. Again, we've got the Cotrex trails in gray overlaid on the OpenStreetMap tiles. This junction between the Blue Sky Trail and the Laughing Horse Loop is actually about 100 feet from its true location. It's for the actual junction is to the west. And I'll show you the heat map to demonstrate that. And also some imagery to show that. Maybe not a huge deal in terms of public safety, but why not have the trail data correct? So here's the actual Cotrex app, and so that it is depicted incorrectly. Should be over here. Right, this is Devil's Backbone open space. Again, OpenStreetMap tiles with Cotrex trails overlaid in gray. There is a neighborhood access trail that is missing from Cotrex. Now, although this is not supposed to be used by the general public, it is usable by anyone that lives in this neighborhood. And you can see that this is important for those people. And you could imagine that someone's new to the neighborhood, maybe they're visiting Airbnb or whatever, knowing that they could get to the backbone via this trail is important. But even more important, once they get to the backbone, it'd be important for them to know how to get back. And having that trail is important for that reason. Just let's put some Strava heat on that. You can see that there is a trail there. We'll take a look at some imagery. You can see the trail. So there is a trail there. It is official. It should be depicted in Cotrex, but it is not. So it should go down here like this. Cotrex. This is again Devil's Backbone. This is the Hidden Valley Trail. Again, Cotrex in gray, overlaid on OpenStreetMap tiles. Several years ago, the trail crews with Larimer County moved the trail over about 50 feet because there's a big pile of mine tailings here that shaded the trail, and thus it would not dry out after rain, or in the spring the snow and ice wouldn't melt as fast as on other parts of the trail. Furthermore, this S-curve was eliminated even prior to that. If we take a look at the Strava heat map, you can see that the trail's actually to the east of where Cotrex depicts it. If we go back to 2019 imagery, you can see that at that time the trail was where Cotrex currently depicts it. But if you go to 2021, it's the other way around. That the new location is much more prominent, and in both cases you can see the S-curve has been eliminated. It's just a switchback. So we're now in Red Mountain open space and looking at the Bent Rock Trail. Again, the gray is Cotrex overlaid on the OpenStreetMap tiles. So the difference here is about 80 feet from here to there. So a significant difference, but even more importantly, it's on the wrong side of this little wash. I'm not sure that that's actually called Sand Creek, but there is a wash there, and we can see that in the imagery. Once it paints, there you go. So there is some sort of track there, but that's not where people are traveling, and I'm guessing not where Larimer County wants people to travel. You can see there's a trail north of the wash that's much more distinct. And here's the Strava heat map. Looks like a very few people are taking the location that Cotrex depicts. Perhaps that used to be the official trail, but I don't think that's currently the trail. And Larimer County GIS is also at odds with the evidence here. We're back in Red Mountain open space, looking at the Salt Lick Trail. Again, gray is the Cotrex data, and you can see overlaid on OpenStreetMap. And the max difference there is about 120 feet. There's the Strava heat map. Here's this is Bing imagery that was captured sometime in July, August of 2021. Clearly see the trail is different than the Cotrex depiction. And that continues along the length of the trail. And here you can see that in the actual Cotrex website, the trail goes kind of straight instead of swinging out around like it does in actuality. Right, we are in Hermit Park. This is the Homestead Meadows Connector Trail. And again, Cotrex in the gray. So a number of years ago, Larimer County trail building crews built this new trail that parallels the old trail. The old trail just followed a road, which, according to the signage, is now off limits, and this new trail, nice single track trail, is what is being used and is what is official. Here's Bing imagery from July, August timeframe of 2021. You can see the new trail here. All right. The Strava heat map shows the new trail getting a lot of use and the old trail not getting used. Interesting, Larimer County GIS kind of has the new trail kind of something else, so it's not really correct either. And here's the actual Cotrex web map, and you can it follows that old location. Again, we're in Hermit's Park. Again, Cotrex in gray, overlaid on OpenStreetMap tiles. This is the junction of the Limber Pine Trail and the Kruger Rock Trail. Now, south of that junction, the Limber Pine Trail is a difference of about 100 feet from reality. Show the Strava heat map, show that that's the case. Larimer County GIS matches Cotrex, so it is incorrect as well. And you can kind of see this is the Bing imagery. The trail goes here kind of northwest of the depicted location. And here's the actual Cotrex app web map. You can see that the trail should be up to the northwest. We're taking a look at the Longview Trail, which runs between Loveland in the south and Fort Collins in the north. Again, the gray here is Cotrex, overlaid on the OpenStreetMap tiles for reference. Difference is up to 100 feet. It also crosses over this canal a couple times, which in reality only does once. So that's kind of confusing. Here is the heat map, and you can see that the Cotrex data does not match where people are actually traveling. Take a look at some imagery. This is a paved concrete trail, so it's very obvious in imagery that the trail is not where Cotrex depicts it. interestingly enough, so we're talking a difference of 100 feet. National Map Accuracy Standard for 1 to 24K maps is 40 feet, and I would hope that in this day and age we could do a lot better than that. And their actual Cotrex website, and you can see the trails depicted as crossing over this canal multiple times, when in reality it only crosses once down here. Again, Horsetooth Mountain open space, this time the West Ridge Trail. For reference, to the southwest is Horsetooth Mountain. Down there. So we have it, again, Cotrex in gray, overlaid on OpenStreetMap. Again, difference is about 50 feet. Take a look at the heat map from Strava. You can see that the heat map more or less matches OpenStreetMap and does not match the Cotrex data. Let's take a look at some imagery. You kind of see through here where the trail goes. This is Eagle's Nest open space. We'll look at the OT trail. Again, gray is Cotrex overlaid on OpenStreetMap tiles. Turn on the Strava heat map. You can see that the Cotrex depiction differs significantly than where people are actually traveling, and that's likely to be the official location of the trail. In fact, I believe what happened is several years ago the trail was rerouted by Larimer County Natural Resources personnel. That's about 100 feet or so difference at the maximum. Further evidence, we can take a look, some imagery. The actual location is pretty evident in the imagery, although there's also a signature where Cotrex depicts it as, and that's why I believe, and if my memory serves me correctly, the trail used to be where Cotrex depicts it. Again, that was several years ago.